This is Calabucas for Think Feature Extra. So I was reading some book, and I forget which the name of the book was, but it's a near future book, which was a little bit more of advanced. It was kind of like an advanced dating scheme. It was really interesting. Basically, what it did is that even though you got married, even though you had a boyfriend, girlfriend, even though you got married, the system continued to look for other people who were better than your current mate, and would alert you when it found someone that it thought was a better mate for you, and would suggest, hey, maybe you should break up / divorce your significant other right now and go with this other person because they're a better fit for you. It's kind of like a Tinder that just continues going on and on and on in the background, finding you a better mate, even though you are with the current mate that you're with. Now, I thought that was an interesting concept, but it's not so far-fetched if you think about it. It's not so far-fetched if you think about it, because, YOLO, right? We only live once. Do we have the right mate? And I can understand the concept behind that sort of thing, right? Because people are doing that right now. I mean, a lot of times there isn't that same loyalty and monogamy is not there anymore. But I digress. I don't want to talk about dating. I want to talk about work. In fact, if you ask me, this is the future of talent acquisition. And you're saying, Calabucas, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean it's the future of talent acquisition? Well, think of it this way, right? Think of how much effort it is for you to be able to find a better gig, a better job. And I'm just talking about the standard old work. This is prior to the task economy. This is prior to the gig economy. You just have a job. You have a job, you got your resume, you interviewed, and you have a job. And you've been working on this job for a while. And you think to yourself, well, maybe there's a better job for me out there. Maybe there's a job out there that fits what I want to do better than what I'm doing now. And it's pretty likely that there's another job out there that might fit you and your employer. Maybe your employer could find a better person for your role too. So there's a better match. Even though you both are working, even though you're being employed by this employer and this employer is employing you, even though you have this employment contract, there still may be a better job for you, and there may be a better candidate out there for the job you're doing. So why can't we have this same kind of conceptual recruiting, like this dating recruiting that I was talking about earlier in the show? Why can't we have that same kind of conceptual recruiting happening at the same time as you're working somewhere? So that in the background, AIs are looking at your role and your position, and they're matching you against other open jobs, and they're alerting you the moment a new job comes up that's a better match for you. Instead of you having to go out there and look for something, these AIs in the background are constantly trying to match you up and your employer up with the right candidate, trying to match you up with the right job, and trying to match your employer up, your employee's job with the right candidate. Wouldn't it be great if we could automate all of that work so that the matching between the job and the candidate would just happen in the background? We could get rid of resumes, interviews, all of this stuff, all of these trappings of talent acquisition, which, if you ask me, are ripe for disruption, because there's been plenty of times that you've been able to take somebody through, their resume looks good, they interview well, then you get them on board, and within 30 minutes of getting this person on board, you realize this is not the person for the job. How did that happen? Well, it's simple. The system is broken. The system is broken. We need to use other methodologies to figure out if this person is the right candidate for the job. And if you ask me, in an interim step before getting to the AI, I think apprenticeships are the way to go. I say hire the damn person, get them to work for a while, see how they actually do in the job before you offer it to them. I think apprenticeships need to come back big time, but that's just me, a lone voice shouting in the wilderness. Now, if you are an HR person, if you're an HR person and you're listening to this, what is wrong with that concept? Why can't we go straight to an apprenticeship model? Why can't we toss out the whole resume, interview, blah-de-blah-de-blah rigmarole that we go through and come up with something that might work better to match up the job with the candidate?